Hey folks, Brendan here from Blue Light, and today I'm in York. I've just been doing some coaching with one of my clients who's preparing for the Search Assessment Centre. And one of the things that you're going to have to do as part of the Search Assessment Centre is role plays. 4 role plays where you are going to meet 4 different role players. You've got 5 minutes of preparation, 5 minutes to deal with the role player, and then you're straight out to do the next one. Just over 40 minutes, because there's a little bit of time when you've got to stand at the door and wait for the buzzer to go in. And as soon as the buzzer goes, you're going to walk through the door and straight away the role player is going to have something to say. Quick top tip. One of my clients just fed back to me recently that he got a C in professionalism, and he reckons the reason was because he interrupted the role player when the role player was coming out with their first couple of sentences to tell you, how disgusted they are about something, or how terrible something has made them feel and how it needs fixing now. They're going to come out with some kind of rant. Let them finish their rant. Let them finish their rant. Don't interrupt them. Never interrupt the role player. Anyway, so when I do this practice, either in my seminars or the one-to-one coaching, I will always behave as the role players will. And my clients who've been previously to the assessment centre and then have discovered Blue Light and have come on my seminars, of course, I'd never ask them what happened at the assessment centre. That would be a breach of the confidentiality statement. But I do get them to mark me out of 10 in terms of how I am, how realistic I was compared to the experience they had with the role players at the assessment centre. And I always get a 9 or a 10 out of 10. My client today described it as, when you're in it, it's hard. The unexpected, abrupt responses were really off-putting. Now, there's a way to deal with them. There's a way to deal with them, because they're going to say things to you like, I wrote down some of the comments I've used here. I expect you to find that out. I demand action. What are you going to do about this? I demand action and I demand it now. And I'd say that in the understanding phase. So I'd latch it onto one of my answers, because my client was doing a fantastic job of using 5WH. He was TED-pieing all the questions. He asked a big open question to start with. He was doing active listening. Fantastic job. All I had to do, though, was just say, what are you going to do about this? I demand action. And straight away he went to solution mode and forgot to ask the other half of the questions. That he even had them written down on his prep sheet. He even had them written down on his prep sheet. And I did this to him twice, until he got a grip of it and said, I'll come to the solutions soon, but first I need to finish asking you some questions. Bingo, you got it. Because what I'll try and do as a role player, and what they'll try and do, is to try and push you and swerve you off course, take you off your plan. And this is no different to what the criminal element will do out there. If they're going to get arrested for something, they're going to do everything they can unfairly, because they're not going to play fairly, to put you off what you're doing, to get you to arrest them incorrectly and someone's filming it, to get you to do some breach of law, to get you to mess up and get flustered. And when you get flustered, this is when you start messing up. So this is no different to what happens out on the streets, except out on the streets it's a little bit more abrupt. So I use the word abrupt today. Oh my goodness, just wait till he's out there dealing with the people who are well practiced at doing everything they can to completely twirl you, to put you off, to take you off balance so that they can hide evidence, so that they can run away, so they can do anything at all to frustrate your investigation. That's what they do. So this is no different, but this is just like basic version. The key to this is to keep your eye on the ball, keep your eye on your plan, and to keep, when you're out there on the streets, to always watch your suspect. Always watch what they're doing, and if they're going to try and distract you, there's a reason why they're trying to distract you. A bit like magicians. They'll take your attention over here by doing this sort of thing. Have you ever wondered about, and they're doing something down here with their hand? That's no different to the criminal element. They'll do everything they can to frustrate you. Oh, how I love policing. I'm watching for what that hand was doing whilst they're trying to distract me. Anyway, I'm going off topic a little bit. This is about the role players and what we discovered, and another quote from my candidate today. At the end of it, he said, listen, it's just like a big script. It's exactly like a big script. And it is. All of this is just a big script. This is just chunks of how to handle people in an assessment centre. Now we do the same thing for the day one as well. We'll give you all sorts of ideas, phrases, types of questions. One of the things we looked at here was the 3 C's. It's an interesting one. I'll tell you about that another time. And how to deal with people in the solution phase that say things like, is that the best you can do? I'm not interested. I don't care about your suggestions. That won't work. I don't want to get involved. How are we going to deal with that? Well, we use a script. We're going to use our script because we've got a script for every one of those retorts from the role player. And we're just going to dip into our metaphorical back pocket, take that script out and launch it at the role player. All of the things that I show you, I've mapped out against a competency framework. For the day one, all the things that I show you, I've mapped out against a competency and values framework. So just to give you an example, one of the things that we do now to make sure that we don't get marked down as being dismissive of the role player, where you'd be doing something more than just interrupting them. By the way, don't interrupt them. One of my clients got a C in professionalism recently. He reckons it's because he interrupted the role players at the very start. So never interrupt the role player, allow them to speak. But on a different video, I talk about the 5 levels of feelings. Now there's 5 different ways that you can ask really powerful, cathartic questions. And you're not going to find that anywhere if you Google it. It's stuff that I've brought together from the world of neuro-linguistic programming, from 6 category intervention analysis, and motivational interviewing theory, and a little bit of Barack Obama. Something he used to say in some of his very statesman-like speeches. So I get all of this material from all sorts of different places, and I put it all together in these wonderful bundled chunks of learning that you can apply at the assessment centre to nail it. Now, if you want to find out more, please do click on the links below. The first one I'm going to invite you to join is the Facebook support group. There's almost 10,000 people in there now. A lot of them are serving officers. A lot of them are HR officers with forces now. Northumbria Police are represented there, Sussex Police are represented, Surrey Police, Avon and Somerset, where else? North Yorkshire Police, I think they might be lurking in the background though. I've got 1 or 2 people who are from HR. The other forces I've just mentioned though, they're quite open about it and they will support you if they can in a very ethical way. They'll watch out from posts, for example, for people who are applying to Sussex, and if you can answer that question, they will do. So I think it's fantastic that we've got people now from forces supporting people inside that Facebook group. And of course, as well as serving officers, a lot of officers with experience, there's mentors there, people who've been through this process before who will mentor you in a very ethical way. And of course, there's thousands of you who are aspiring to be police officers. And the questions that crop up there, I can't even keep up with them. There's amazing questions, amazing answers every day of the week, something like 300 posts a week. And last time I looked, there's something like 2,500 replies. 2,500 replies, that's what I can't keep up with what's going on in the group. But it's well moderated, we've got moderators, and the people who are in there police it very well in terms of the content that goes in there. So I'd invite you to join that. It's an amazing group, incredibly powerful. And of course some links to my online courses, my seminars, my one-to-one coaching, all the things that are going to enable you to pass. And listen, you can try it out. If it doesn't seem like it's a good fit for you within 24 hours, drop me a line and I'll give you a full refund. I don't want you purchasing any service of me unless it's a good fit. Because I've been doing this for years now, and I know that it's very unlikely that after watching it for 24 hours, watching my services, my online course, you're going to look at it and go, that's not for me. But if it is, I'll give you money back. If you fail your assessment centre, if you can demonstrate that you've done all the work, you've done your best, you've done everything I've asked you to do, I'll give you a refund. I'll give you a refund. 2 over the past 6 months, 2 refunds. So it's a no-brainer for me. Do what I show you to do and you're going to pass. Now, you're then going to be up against something called the final interview. That's a different kettle of fish. Because this assessment centre, I'm sorry College of Policing, it's just too easy to gameplay. It's just too easy to gameplay. You've got to make it more challenging if it's going to have the value and worth that it should have. That's why a lot of forces will have a final interview, and that's a different approach, completely different approach, where you've got to be your real, authentic and emotional self. More about that in other videos. Okay folks, well listen, I hope you found this really useful, and if you'd like to find out more, just drop me a line, comment below. If you've got anything to say about it, comment below, get involved in the conversation. I'll see you at the next seminar, webinar, online coaching, one-to-one, or in the Facebook group. Look forward to it. Bye-bye for now.